another one from Tim's, baby. Check it out. We love you. Sorry. We'll be back eventually. I promise.
What's up? I'm Isaac.
I got hit in the face by a stripper.
And I'm Nick. I'm like a fat girl in 7th grade at 7 a.m.
Welcome to the Bargoyles,
where we break down restaurants, bars,
and the chaos of stand-up comedy.
From bad Yelp reviews
to heckler horror stories,
we've got the inside scoop
and the laughs.
Yeah, I think I met from that podcast, Bargoyles podcast.
I was gonna say I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Shout out.
Who needs therapy when you got the Bargoyles?
Oh yeah, no intro. Yeah,
Normally you hear an intro. Yeah.
That's amazing intro music. I'm impressed.
Thank you,
I
thank you,
love
thank you.
I love that.
Wouldn't be the first time a girl said that to me. What's up, guys? We are the Bargoyles. This is episode 151. Your favorite local podcast has found some bus tickets. What we got on the road? We didn't even find a bus ticket. We found a streetcar ticket because we're here in New Orleans, 2025. What event are we at now, Nick?
We are at Tales of the Cocktail 2025. This is year 2 running for the Bargoyles, and we are hitting the ground running. We are running a marathon. We have been killing it past couple days, so here we are.
What is this, episode 6 or 7 we've done so far in 2 days?
7. This is episode 7.
I think last year we only did like 3 episodes, and we were like, we need to get our ship tightened. We got to get that. And so here we are. We're doing a 2v1 right now, actually, guys. This is the second time we've had 2 guests on the show. Very excited to have you guys. What's up? Hey, how we doing, Rob?
Doing well.
Rob, and then Ariana?
Yeah.
Ariana, okay.
I'm doing well, thank you.
I always get confused as Ariana. I get very, very nervous with that. My niece is Christiana, but she goes by Ariana, and now she's starting like I was like, no. What are you doing? You're 3. You don't get to choose this yet.
You can't switch this up on me already. Come
Exactly.
on.
I mean,
Not for the third time, too. Yeah.
3 years, 3 names. That's crazy. She probably has some warrants out. That's what's going on. Smart girl. So Rob, tell me, where are you guys based out of? I know we've talked a few times on the app there, but I want our regulars at home to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're based outside of Raleigh, North Carolina.
It is North Carolina. Okay, we looked it up. Yeah.
You're like, wait, where are these guys from?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I did my investigative reporting, don't worry.
We are not running from the law. We'll tell you where we are. But no, we're based.
I'm easy to find.
But yeah, so we're based right outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. It's a little town called Holly Springs, and we have. Let's see, we're in year 4 of our business. We produce bitters. So for those folks out there who enjoy making good cocktails, whether that's professionally or at home, we seek to be able to provide the perfect pairing for whatever it is you enjoy drinking. And kind of to that point, we find that, I was doing some research not too long ago, doing a little kind of sprucing up of our website. We have the largest selection of flavors of bitters in the country.
Check that shit. Number 1. What? That's crazy.
Awesome.
So how many different flavors of bitters, or how many different bitters do you have? Sorry.
Yeah, so in the course of a year, we produce somewhere between 32 and 36 different flavors.
Yeah.
And that's not including what we do exclusively for bars, restaurants, and distilleries around the country, or white label work that we do. And I'm the talker.
Okay.
But Ariana is the mastermind, the mad scientist of flavor, as I call her.
The mad scientist of flavor.
So
Whoa.
all of it, everything that we do is dependent on her. This is her brainchild. She does, I talk. That's the division of labor here. So
how do you go about developing like a new flavor when it comes to the bitter space?
Oh, I just get ideas. And I kind of approach it in more of a sensory exploration. I use my nose and my mouth, and I just kind of go through and figure out things I want to put together. Often I'll be in a bar and I'll have a cocktail and I'll say, what bitters would I put in this? Because that's where my brain goes. And if I don't immediately have at least 3 flavors from my lineup that I would try in that cocktail, then I know I've got a gap.
Okay.
Right? Because to me, bitters make everything better. I've not met a cocktail that I couldn't make better with bitters. So ultimately, I'm always looking for inspiration when I'm around, markets, bars.
What I wanted to ask here, I guess, of you, Rob, as the elevator pitch, can you give to a new bartender who doesn't really understand bitters and how it does elevate cocktails? How would you approach that conversation?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways that I would do that. One is, and I would give this pitch to anyone, whether they're a bartender or not, is you can go to your refrigerator, you can grab some stuff out, and you can make a meal, and that meal will be serviceable. It'll feed you, right?
Serviceable is not great.
Well, exactly. And so, one way to think of bitters are like seasoning for your cocktails.
Oh.
You can take a piece of meat out of the refrigerator, throw it in a pan, and cook it, and you've made a steak. But there's a wide gulf between doing that, taking that steak and patting it dry, bringing it to room temperature, pan searing it, deglazing that pan.
Just real quick, you're talking dirty to me right now. Sorry. Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
So then you take that meat. And see?
You do have. I've been wanting to say. I was like, your voice. If I could just close my eyes, I can go some places real quick. Okay.
Let me tell you, if OnlyFans was only for voice, I'd be set.
You sound like you put the dungeon in Dungeon Master. So, or maybe the Master. I don't know. Both work. So, yeah, loving the voice. So, but yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so the idea is basically that you could take something very simple, and by thinking about the ways that you can season that, you can take it from something that's just very elemental to something that is very elevated with really a minimal amount of effort. And the other thing is that it's not just for cocktails.
Okay.
I think that a lot of times people hear the word bitters and they think, oh, so we're making old fashions.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Let me just 100%.
Bring out that Ango, bring out that Pay Sean's. We've been pronouncing it wrong the entire time.
Well, it's funny because I've heard both ways. I've heard Peychodes.
Peychodes.
And Peychods.
Peychods, okay.
And so I will say, and I don't mean to sound mean, but it just tastes like red food coloring.
Yeah, I don't love it either.
Yeah, so
I don't love it at all.
So I will say we have a fix for that that's coming before too long. So
okay, check it out. We got a drop. Something's happening. We got news happening.
There you go. But it's going back to the idea of like what you can do with it. It's not just for old fashions. It's not just for whiskey drinks. We've got flavors that we'll take that gin cocktail, or vodka doesn't ever really bring much to the table. It's a base to build on. But
it erases it.
Well, depends how much you have. But we have flavors that work so well at complementing those existing flavors in other cocktails or juxtaposing them. And that's going back to what do bitters do? You're able to introduce vibrant new flavors. You're able to juxtapose existing flavors, blend and marry flavors, and then tighten up the finish on a cocktail. We've all been in that situation where either by playing around at home or when you're out at a bar, you get that cocktail and the first sip on the front of your palate, you're like, yes. And then 2 sips in the back of your mouth, you're like, oh. Yeah. It's like cloyingly sweet. Bitters fixes that situation because it dries up that finish, right? And it makes that cocktail even more palatable.
Yeah, cleaning up the finish is something I never really thought about as far as cocktails. Like, as we were kind of grew up as more dive bar guys when it comes to the scene. It's one of these where like what we put out is just volume, and you're not really thinking about the individual experience every single time. I wanted to ask you here, what would you say is the most like neutral vehicle as far as a cocktail goes for you to explore different bitters and how they react?
Well, I always love going to an old fashioned, talking about old fashions, because to me that is the no-brainer of where people go with bitters, but beyond bourbon, right? So I'm making tequila old fashions, I'm doing rum old fashions, I'll do a gin old fashioned, and I'm changing up the spirit and the sugar and the bitters and playing with it that way, because to me it needs to work well with the spirit, right? Because that's 100%. The heart of a cocktail, right? And if it's not working well with those spirits, then there's a problem there. From there, I actually just love throwing a lot of them in like a gin and tonic, because that's for my direct consumer sales. They're always like, oh, well, I only make rum and cokes at home, or gin and tonics, or vodka sodas, and I don't need bitters. And I'm like, well, I would argue you need them more because you need to add a lot of flavor to keep that interesting. So we have a lot of flavors that I'll just throw in a gin and tonic at home when I'm feeling lazy, because I might have 400 bottles on my back bar at home. But when I get home, I don't really feel like touching that many bottles. So I'll just pick that one spirit I really like and throw some club soda or tonic in there, and then spice it up with some bitters.
Okay. So I'll say I'm a Jameson ginger ale kind of a guy. That's kind of been my vehicle all the time. What bitters from your guys that you would highly recommend? Because I will make sure I order one online.
Absolutely. Number one for that would be our julep bitters.
Julep bitters, okay.
We have a lot of friends who do the Jameson and ginger with the julep. A lot of other crazy fun options would be our Fedderson's Finest, which is a chai masala bitter that was aged in American single malt whiskey barrels. So if you want to get weird,
artisanal craft are you bringing to this game?
If you want to get weird, then you go for that.
Okay.
And if you like chai spice flavor, right? So this is I worked with our spice importers locally to us that helped me craft like a authentic Indian chai blend, and made that. And we had that for about a year. And then we had a friend say, hey, I've got this American single malt whiskey barrel that I bought for my wedding, and now it's empty, and I have it. What do you want to do with it? And I was like, I want to put chai in there.
I love that you've become that beacon to your friends where they're like, hey, I have this cool alcohol-related thing I need some help with. You got it? And you're like, I got it.
Well, and it's not just our friends. I mean, we outside of our personal friends, our friends in the industry, trust us as well. Our first series of barrel-aged bitters that we did was with a North Carolina distillery called Weldon Mills out towards the coast of North Carolina. And we did a year-long series with them. We did one per season where we started with some of their bourbon barrels. We did a bourbon barrel-aged Mexican chocolate bitter. That we called our bourbon truffle. Okay. And that was phenomenal. We took that barrel, once we emptied it, filled it with our black cherry bitter.
Okay.
So now we're building
It's
flavor
like
upon
a well-seasoned
flavor.
walk.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
So then for spring and summer, we took one of their bourbon barrel gin barrels and put our tiki bitter in there. So now we've got bourbon influence, we have botanical influence, we have all of the things from our tiki bitter that in our tiki bitter is insane. It's very much that idea of everything and the kitchen sink. And then once we emptied that, we put in our sweet tea bitters. So we have limited stock of those two left available, the Luahine and the Sailor Sweet Tea.
So that's what I wanted to ask. When you're comboing flavors on top of each other like that through the barrel process, does that make every release almost one of these limited where just because you like the Mexican mole, when we make it again next year, it's never going to be the same?
Exactly.
It makes it more limited?
Exactly. It is a moment in time being captured. And that's what we love is
you've literally bottled a moment in time.
Absolutely. It's because our core lineup, we do about 14 flavors that are available any time of the year. We've got those for you, all day long, twice on Sunday. And then we do rotating seasonals. We do 2 seasonal flavors, every season. And then we have our limited editions, which are usually she's like, you know what, I've got an idea. Or someone comes to us and goes, what would be cool? You know what I mean?
And sometimes they're the really weird ideas.
Yes. Well, that's what makes you a scientist. Yeah.
I mean, like he's my Bloody Mary guy, and he really wanted Bloody Bitters. So right now we have Bloody Bitters. I think we've only got 20 bottles left. So if you want Bloody Bitters, get on there and order.
Where
can
they do all this ordering? Yes.
So remedycocktailcompany.com.
Okay.
So that's for e-commerce, both direct to consumer, and if you're an industry professional, scroll down the bottom of the website on any page, click that wholesale login and register, and we'll give you some really nice pricing.
Very cool.
So if you're in the industry, we want to work with you wherever you are. We self-distribute, so anywhere in the continental United States, we got you.
We definitely know some cool bars in the DMV area, the DC area. Shout out Catamount Lounge, one of my favorite bars I go to, out in Front Royal, Virginia, out of nowhere.
Nice.
But I play this game with them that it's one of my favorite games. We call it like kind of area code where you pick 3 numbers. Of the 3 numbers, one section is just your random bottles, gin, vodka, all that. Then they can pick a brand after that. The second is kind of a flavor profile. And then the third one was bitters. And because they had a selection of like 12 different bitters, and watching someone just go, all right, cool, and watching the science happen behind the bar is also a lot of fun.
12 bitters. Those are rookie numbers.
That's why I want to talk to them, because I'm like, wait a second, because they're talking about looking for more bitters, and it's kind of a space that I don't have a lot of expertise in. So I'm very happy to pass this on to the people who need to know, because most bars you and I go to
it's Ango and orange bitters.
Yeah, and that's not uncommon. And I'm going to be real honest. we're never going to be Ango on price.
Yeah.
But we will beat Ango on flavor.
Well, you get what you pay for it.
Right.
I mean, yes.
Can we talk about you have a award-winning bitter? I am looking here. Is your lime and sea salt?
That one, yeah.
That one that was best beverage mixer in 2024. I want to talk about that one because those flavors right there speak to me. I love lime and sea salt.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And that speaks right to me. So let's talk about that.
I joke that one's my bartender ketchup.
Nice.
It really does make every cocktail better. Now, that one is also my favorite in club soda. So that's my hangover cure.
Oh, okay.
Throw a couple of dashes at my club soda in the morning. Now, what's interesting is that the salinity in that actually mellows out some of the acid in your drink.
Okay.
So if you have a margarita or a gimlet or a mojito or daiquiri that's just too acidic and you throw a dash of that in there, it actually rounds over the palate.
My tummy's going a little crazy.
Yeah, it rounds over the palate a little bit, makes it a little smoother. I mean, if you're looking for that pucker punch, then more power to you. But I guess as I get older, I appreciate the smoothing over of some of those more
nice
acidic
subtlety
drinks.
to it.
But yeah, that one, it works great in so many different applications. I put it in mules. I have a friend who puts it in everything, and she was just like, people will always be like, what did you do to this? And she's like, I did that. And,
Boom.
you know, and people all the time are like, man, that's really good. And that's her secret ingredient to all of her cocktails.
I would ask, as far as outside of the cocktail space, I know you're talking about within like remedies and like hangovers. What bitters do you have that you would say is the best for that? As someone's feeling sick, I got tummy issues, I got GI issues. Like, what would be the bitters that I would probably grab for my non-cocktail applications?
Honestly, all of them would work.
Okay.
So I use 2 to 3 different bittering agents in all of my flavors. I approach it kind of in a culinary aspect. If
Okay.
you're using multiple bittering agents, you're hitting different parts of your palate. So instead of just going in with gentian and that gentian's gonna hit on one part of your palate only, I'm using gentian along with maybe angelica and cassia and dandelion. Depending on the flavor, I pick 2 to 3 that pair well with that flavoring agent.
Okay.
So depending on the fruit or the spices being used, I'll kind of pick the parts of the palate I want to activate, and I'll pick my bittering agents accordingly. Now, as a result, sometimes people say they don't taste as bitter. And ultimately, I think that comes down to knowing what bittering agents to use, because you're not getting punched in the face with the bitterness, right? Your palate is just kind of going along for the ride.
It is one of those funny things that we talk about. We don't so much the 5 like flavors that you taste, and how people always forget bitter was a flavor. It was one of the original 5 categories. It was spice, sweet, sour, something, and bitters. I remember that. And for I read something about the idea that we stopped tasting bitters was because we weren't tasting the plants that had the poison, because that was kind of bred out of society. We don't appreciate bitter, and we only think of bitter as like the bad flavor, not the great flavor that I feel like you guys are encompassing.
The other one was umami.
Which actually, which is my favorite.
Well, I was going to say, and it's kind of funny because one of our summer seasonals we call Beach Bonfire.
Okay.
And that is a twice smoked Malden salt and nori.
Oh,
so
as someone who grew up in Japan, nori is the best. I love put that on furikake, nori, everything.
Yeah. So like I said, once again, not something you normally see in a bitters, right? But that idea of we want to be able to have something for everything, and so we've outside of just the cocktail world, one of the things that we've seen and had some concept of, especially with Ariana's food background, was the utilization of bitters outside of beverages, at all. So in context of cooking and baking, because at their heart, bitters are a flavor extraction, and anywhere that if you're doing cooking and baking, you want this flavor. You can actually substitute in place of things like vanilla extract. One of the things that she's done a few times, and I'm a fat kid. I'm not gonna lie. I love cake. She's taken like
we all have that inside of us.
Right, exactly.
You celebrate a birthday with cake, whether it's a rap song cake or an actual cake.
Exactly.
We're out here. Yeah.
So she's used like our Mexican chocolate bitters in cupcake batter and things like that to just reinforce some of those flavors in ways that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise without throwing off that that balance. Because baking is a science. It's tough to kind of riff on baking.
Oh yeah,
everything
100%.
else totally.
You're not hitting a guitar solo, but you get behind the kitchen, the fire, you can do whatever you want. Like, ooh, too much of that, add too much of that. The moment you mess up a baking recipe, you got to start.
Over.
You got to start
Yeah,
scratch.
it's
You're done.
over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say that we were Tuesday. We were out at Margot's for an event with Amoria Margot, and somebody said, "Why?" when we told them how many flavors we have, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "No, it's fine." Part of it is I just keep having ideas. The other part is we're in a control state, and we can't get as many variety of spirits as a lot of other states can. And so there are flavors and profiles that you end up only being able to get in using like a syrup that you've handmade, right?
Right.
And if
That
if
shelf
you
life
bartend,
is
between shelf life and the fact that you're just making sweeter and sweeter cocktails, right? And so bitters are a way to bring in flavor without messing with your ratios and making a drink too sweet, and kind of bringing those flavors in and getting you more variety without having to buy more spirit bottles.
Right.
Do you have like a bottle we can put on the table so people can see on you guys or at all? Or
We were running late. So
we're running. Okay, totally cool. I wasn't sure. Okay, I was
going to bring
cool.
all 10 with me that we have in the bookstore right now here at Tales of the Cocktail, and set them out for you, and then we
Very cool.
Late,
Here's the picture though. Look, check out the setup. It's
Amazing.
very cool.
Something I love that I've been scrolling on your website here is not only do you list the bitters you sell, you have recipes.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah,
That's an incredible ad.
Year one, we put out 150 different cocktail recipes using our bitters. It was a busy time.
You've got like 13, 14 pages worth.
Yeah.
I tell you, after a while, you run out of ideas. We had to keep looking at those random spirits holidays, right? Like, oh, hey, it's Cognac Day. What are we making with Cognac just to get us out of our box, right? Like, you can only make so many different kinds of margaritas, or whatever.
Satal. We'll go with Satal.
Sure.
And thankfully, we have friends who own a brokerage in North Carolina, so they get some funky things in and kind of let us try some stuff that's different and new. But yeah, it was quite the gauntlet to go through all those cocktail recipes. But it really helped especially our direct consumer people that were kind of doing the education piece of this, of teaching them what bitters are and how to use them. That when they go home, they're now suddenly not like, oh man, I wish I could have shrunk Ariana down and put her in my pocket to tell me what to do with this, right? So they can actually hop on the website and see what we've done with it.
They are developing an app. Don't worry. You will ask, or we'll give you pairings and recommendations. It's coming along. So, trademark Bargoyles. Very cool.
Actually, another thing that we've done as a response to like our direct-to-consumer market is we actually sell sampler packs, 3 flavor sampler packs, based on spirit type.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because that was another question we got was like, I really like gin. Which bitter should I try? Or, my uncle loves rum, and we got these questions at a lot of like pop-up markets and things like that we were doing. And so we have those available on the website as well. And it's great for getting started because they're a little bit smaller volume as far as the constituent bottles. And then they're also great for gift opportunities. Any time of the year.
Perfect stocking stuff.
I was going to say they're great for birthdays, graduations.
Quinceañeras.
Yeah,
Well, they get 6 stomachs.
We
said bitters isn't just for
That's
drinks.
true. That's true. I was like, I want fine line of like, don't drink this with the tequila at the well, if you're the subject of the quinceañera.
Yes, because everybody else is drinking. I got one next month, and I'm like, we know we're drinking.
He's been doing a montage of Rocky highlights with his liver. It's not great.
And we know
great.
we're drinking.
He's Eye of the Tiger over there. So I guess I wanted to ask, if there was just the one bottle I had to have my starter kit, if I couldn't do the actual starter kit itself, that's just works with almost your bitter bacon, goes with everything. What would that bottle pitch be?
Yes, and so I'll give you my 3.
Improv. Okay.
So for traveling,
yes,
I get this question a lot. Hey, I'm going to the beach. What are the bitters that you would bring on vacation with you, right? Because you're not going to bring 30 bottles of bitters on vacation. Right. So my 3.
I mean, some of us do.
You can tell me if you have different 3. Please,
he keeps them under his trench coat. It's really creepy, but then you try it. It's amazing.
Little bandolero.
Oh, nice little bandolier. Okay, there you go.
Oils.
So my 3 are the lime and sea salt.
Okay.
Lime and sea. Yep.
My bartender ketchup, pink peppercorn, which
Pink peppercorn.
very
Okay.
similar as far as bartender ketchup goes, but different.
Okay.
Right? So it adds that depth and complexity without completely changing the flavor profile of the cocktail. And then from there, my noir bitter. And the noir is our number one seller.
Okay.
And it's tamarind, black walnut, and black cardamom.
Tamarind.
So between those
Okay.
three, you've covered every spirit category as far as what'll taste good in it, and lots of cocktails. Because that lime and sea salt is great in almost everything, but if you're not leaning into citrus for a cocktail, then that pink peppercorn is your answer, right? It's got a little bit of a grapefruit to it, but like I said, it's largely pepper, right?
Very
and
cool.
that brings that depth and complexity in. Doesn't make the cocktail taste like pepper, but it brings in that depth and complexity and dries up the finish. And then that noir works in like every other cocktail, right? So your juicy drinks, I put it in sangria, I put it in my mimosas, I put it in my old fashions, my Manhattans. We put it in Negronis.
It's surprisingly good in a Negroni.
Really good.
Oh, really? Okay. Very
Like
cool.
I mean, Negroni is a
I
bitter
wouldn't be
drink
surprised.
to begin with.
Sounds like a great
but
product.
It just adds something. So yeah, those are my three. Do you have a different three?
I might actually substitute, just because I have such a love for it, is the short stack, which is a maple pecan bitter.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got a soft spot for that one.
How dirty to be. What are we doing? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, little maple.
How are you pairing that?
I would say little maple, little pecan. It's got some black pepper in there, and throw that into like a. What was that? We did the campfire old fashioned. Where we did what was we used a little bit of salt on a large block to kind of give it that little touch of salinity in there, and then I think we smoked that one as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
But yeah, we're usually using a robust maple syrup as our sweetener for a cocktail with that, and then it's generally old fashions, rum, bourbon. I've seen people put it in like Calvados cocktails, you know,
Okay.
like with apple,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like it's definitely a fall flavor. Generally, we have it in the fall only, but we've had enough requests for it outside of fall that it should be coming to the store year round.
Very cool.
Coming up probably next month.
Nice, man. I love that. I love what you guys are doing. And just kind of put a bow on it here. We are getting towards the end of Tales. We're here at Tales of we're here at Tales of the Cocktail 2025 in New Orleans. Just what were your two separately favorite Tales memories so far for the trip?
Oh, Tales memories. Well, my favorite seminar was Seth O'Malley's on extraction.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. That's kind of
Yes,
where I
yeah.
live in the space. So that was probably my favorite seminar. Favorite moment was setting up a bitters meetup and immediately connected with somebody who's making bitters in Colorado.
Yeah.
Right. And so they're at the beginning of their journey. So we're like, oh, these are all the things that we want to talk about. And so kind of dove in, and that community, you know, in the industry, kind of, there's not really a competition when it comes to that kind of thing. It's just more, oh, hey, let me.
Everyone wants to
share,
see the
let
game be elevated together.
Let's
Yeah.
all like bring up the, you know, the quality of our products. So that was a lot of fun.
So I think for me, one of my favorite memories. So one of the things I love about Tales is people that you will meet and then you will see time and time again. I'm going to shout out some friends of ours that we met at our first Tales within the first 20 minutes of arriving. These two guys, Andrew and Phil from Kansas City, that do probably one of the coolest pop-up speakeasies I've ever heard of. It's called Till Death.
Till Death. Shout out Till Death.
And it is a pop-up speakeasy in the basement of a running mortuary. And these guys are killing it. I mean,
Do me part.
Literally.
Let's go.
they're amazing guys. They donate all of their proceeds to charity. So, like I said, they do a couple events a year, and you know, we got to see them again this year. We closed their trip because they left today last night at the Carousel Bar, just hanging out, and had so much fun with those guys. As far as Tales specifically, this year's been great because this is the first year we're on the shelves in the bookstore, and that's for me,
that's primo.
that's awesome. And I do all of our package design and all of our artwork, and the number of people who are like, "Oh, I love the artwork on the unicorn tears," or like, that I'm just like, cool,
Those are the moments, yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks, man. That's
really
awesome,
hard on
man.
it. Yeah, it's really cool.
I
Yeah.
appreciate
That's
that. To wrap here, just give them once more. Where can they find you? Where can they follow you? And where can they buy?
Absolutely. We are Remedy Cocktail Company everywhere, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Threads. We don't do much on TikTok. Sorry, world. And then
Threads. I have a Thread account. I don't check it yet. I haven't used it yet. Yeah. You guys killing it on Threads?
we don't do a lot on Threads either.
Totally cool. Cut that part.
Really,
cut
it's
that part.
Instagram and Facebook. So, and then remedycocktailcompany.com. So, yeah, make sure and check us out there.
If you're ever in Holly Springs, give them a shout. Let them know the Bargoyles sent you. Give them a follow. And like Nick and I always like to say, if you're not following us by now,
It's on purpose.
we'll see you guys next week. What a weird sign out, but it's become our sign out.
It's become a thing.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
We always want to show you guys out.
Girl in 7th grade at 7 a.m.
Welcome to the Bargoyles
Where we break
Yeah.
down restaurants, bars,
and the chaos of stand-up comedy.
from bad Yelp reviews.
To heckler horror stories
We've got the inside scoop.
and the laughs.
I was gonna say I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Shout out.
Who needs therapy when you got the Bargoyles?